wherever you're watching me from. This is your favorite program, EIE Enough is Enough. The only transparent page currently now on the internet that is talking about Nigerian politics, and we're talking about how to move Nigeria to the next level. This morning we have a guest in the house. Good morning. This is Reverend um, Okechukwu Obioha, JP, the National Coordinator, the Southeast for Presidency 2023 in Nigeria. Reverend, you're welcome to EIE Enough is Enough uh, this morning. How are you doing, sir?
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me this afternoon by Nigerian time. I
Yeah,
appreciate the opportunity you've given to me today to talk with the people.
thank you so much, sir. Before we move into the question for today, let me start by asking, sir, please, sir, why do you think the Southeast think it is the right time for them now to come out after several decades or after the independence? Because for to our own understanding, we think like the Southeast have not been participating in the in the government. So why now? Why do you think it is time for the Southeast to come out now and say they want to participate?
Yeah, we think it's very, very timely and the turn of the southeast zone of Nigeria going by the six zonal structure arrangement that Nigeria is operating now. We believe that 2023 is the only agreeable time and year for a Southeasterner to become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria by equity, by justice and fairness, because Nigeria as a nation came into existence in 1960 on three ports. The south, the east, when we were counting or calculating or naming in regions, the east, the west, and the north. And at independence, even though a subject or an element of the southeast zone, the Igbo, was a major partner in the project in the project called Nigeria, and at independence, it was at the forefront of the independence of the creation of Nigeria from the southeast. But at independence, he never was given the leadership or the headship of government of Nigeria. He rather was meant to be a ceremonial president, and the prime minister, which the powers of government or governance resides on, was taken to the north by Alhaji Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. And it went on like that. The Southeasterner or the Eastern region cooperated very well. In 1963-64, we had Nigeria stood on fourth ports, which when we had the Midwest. And after that, with all the activities that went on and incidences that went on, we had 35 years military interregnum in Nigeria. And when we came into the democratic experimentation experience that we're having now in 1999, Nigeria had gone in by 1999 constitution into six zonal structure, not on three zones, three regions, or four regions. And then from all this period, Nigeria, the five zones of the country, had taken turns in the leadership or the headship or the presidency of this country. And so 2023, and before now, it's been taunted and an acceptable formula of the zonal arrangement that the power leaving the south will go to the north. And that was why the two major political parties in the country, the PDP and APC, had President Buhari and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar as presidential candidates in the north. Now that the north have served their 8 years, which they argued when an accident happened in the governance of this country when Yar'Adua died, the north never saw the reason why Goodluck Jonathan should continue. But because of our constitution, because you can't truncate anything. You can't rewrite a constitution, can't have a new constitution. The constitution said the vice president will take over if anything happens to the president. So Goodluck Jonathan came in that state and was the president, from acting president by doctrine of necessity to becoming the president. Now, with all that argument and the experience we had, when Goodluck would have taken his constitutional second tenure in office, it was so very overwhelming and argued that the power must rotate to the north. Now that it's in the north, is now, even though it's not a written constitution, but it's acceptable. Something is acceptable now in Nigeria that the zone, the presidency had gone to the north, and after 8 years, it's going to come to the south. Now that it's coming to the south, if the southwest, by equity, justice, and fairness, had taken 8 years, when even the southeast cooperated with the west because of the annulment of 12 June election and to assuage the west, the powers that be or the political elements in the country considered it necessary at that time because of the circumstances that then to allow the southwest to come to assuage the west because of the annulment of 12 June and annulment of a freely, fairly acceptable and recognized election that was won by Chief Obioha to assuage the west. The only three major political parties we had, the AD, the APP, and PDP. The candidates was allowed to come from the southwest, even though in PDP, Chief Elect Dr. Alex Ekweme had pioneered the G18, G34, and the PDP. But somewhere along the line, either by excuse, we will say intimidation, by arrangement, it was allowed that Chief Obasanjo will come in from the southwest. So somewhere I had it for 8 years, and we cooperated. We also cooperated when, because of the militancy and the crisis in the south or the Niger Delta, Goodluck Jonathan came on board and we cooperated. Now the Southwest have had it 8 years, the South have had it 6 years, which is the three zones in the South. So if it comes to the South, like everybody is arguing now, and the Southern governors have come with not just 6 inches nail, but 9 inches nail, and nailed it to provoke and stir the polity in support of what CPOP have been doing in the last 2 years, because we were like Nostradamus that saw the future. And we started 28th of February 2019 to sing this song. And we were solo, but now it's like bars. So if the Southwest have had it 8 years and the South have had it 6 years, it's unacceptable. It has to be, it's unarguable, it's non-negotiable that the zone that is going to take this thing should be the Southeast zone. And that's what we're saying. And so, because what is good for the good is also good for the gander. So everybody has taken it. And that's why, as we move around in the country, we sing our local song that say, Mara Karadoto, Onyerati Bearato, because other zones have have tested the oil from the soybean cake. If it is sweet, let the Southeast, by all means, for crying out loud, test it in 2023.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. And please, as we go on, I have a couple of questions that I'll be asking you, because as you were talking, I was trying to see if I could pull down some questions that I'm going to ask you. This morning, we are having Reverend Okechukwu
Christopher Obioha.
Sorry, sir, Okechukwu Obioha, JP, who is the National Coordinator of the Southeast for Presidency in 2023 in Nigeria. And please, Nigerians, I want us to sit back because we'll be learning a lot today from this program, because we all have to participate in our democracy. This is how we believe Nigeria is going to move forward. We have to participate. Sir, I have one question that I want to ask. Please tell us, why do you think Nigeria should believe the Southeast that they are prepared for 2023?
Well, what would they not believe? And if common sense is common sense without whipping up sentiments, sir. This is the Southeast, sir. That if you want us to get back to be a great nation again, before the Civil War in 1967 to 1970, which ended on 15th January, every other sector, it was not by accident. They didn't labor for it. They didn't lobby for it. Every major sector of Nigeria was manned by a Southeasterner. The Nigerian Railways, the Nigerian Airways, the Nigerian Aviation School of Aviation in Zaria, the Nigerian shipping line that had 22 ocean liners all over the world doing very well, and other sectors of the economy. Things were working well. It's like more or less that the British, with the character, the strong character they have been, the foreigners, the Western country, we talk about free corruption and so on, almost had the Southeastern and Igbo in place, handed over in terms of the technocrats you have, the civil service you have. So things were moving on well. So if Nigeria wants to get back to being a greater nation, they should, if common sense is common, give the leadership of this country, not secondary, not just using them to support whatever. That you give the leadership of this country to a Southeasterner. We're talking about Southeast zone. We're not talking of Igbo presidency now, sir. This is important we understand it, because the Igbos inhabit 13 states of Nigeria, just like the Yorubas inhabits and crosses over to Kwara State and other states in the north central, just like the Hausa Fulani inhabits everywhere in the 3 zones of the country. So we are talking about things that are done in Nigeria now are shared structurally by zones. Because we are not talking about Igbo presidents, or else we will be very talking about ethnicity, or it will be very divisive to talk about Igbo president. We never had Igbo Hausa president, or Yoruba president, or South president, or Niger Delta president. So, and again, sir, to add this, after the Civil War, not whipping up sentiment, this same stock of people were given 20 pounds to whatever they had after the war. Whatever they had, they were given 20 pounds. And to add injury to salt, 1973, there was in the Nigerian decree, they had nothing. All the foreign companies were bought over by the other part of the country, in addition to the abandoned property saga. But look at it today, with 20 pounds, the Igbo man, the Southeastern man, is in every cranny of this country, controlling the commerce and the economy of this country. So if common sense is common and Nigerians want to doubt their doubts and get back to a greater nation, they should give the Southeasterner, the leadership of this country, 15 months time, so that whichever way, either by miracle or circumstance or whatever, let them use the ingenuity they have to turn, and they're everywhere, every property, everywhere in this country, the commerce. Let them turn this country around with 20 pounds. That same thing, spirit is in them. The dodginess, the ingenuity, they will. So that's what I think, that for Nigeria to get back again, Nigeria has a wonderful opportunity. 2023 is a litmus test. And again, 2023 is a litmus test to test the much talked about unity in diversity. Because if everything is being shared and these things are, other zones have tested it, other tribes have tested it, and Igbo, having been the major tribe in the country, they should test this stock and see what will happen. I bet you there will be miracle of the man again in Nigeria.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And I also have another question for you this morning, because I think we're still within the space of time for the interview, because we have some couple of questions which I believe Nigerians need to know about, because these are some questions that will pop up their mind, maybe probably after this interview. But I don't want you to keep them on suspense. That's why this question, I want to ask you this question so that you could give Nigerians your answer regarding this question. Please, before I dive into the next question, let's go for a quick commercial for a few minutes and we'll get back to you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
House Masters presents Green Estate in Edo State. Our estate is luxurious and reflects that magical merging of inspiration and architecture.
We build, buy, sell, lease, and rent landed properties.
With great features like good road network, street lights, playground, swimming pool area, mini market, fenced and secured environment. Our land size is 450 square meters and we're offering a very flexible payment plan. The one-time payment plan goes for 450,000 naira and 850,000 naira respectively. Installmental payment plans also available for 40,000 naira and 80,000 naira monthly for 12 months. You can locate our sites at Ikoro Community, Upper Ekenwa along Ekenwa Road and at Oluku Bypass. For inquiries and inspection, please call 0815 838 4824 or 0810 504 0052 or visit our website at www.housemasterslimited.com. Our office is located at 14 Wire Road, Benin City, Green Estate, Edo State, powered by Housemasters. This is powered by Housemasters.
Yeah, welcome back. Thank you so much, sir, for staying tuned. And this morning, if you are just joining us, this is EIE Enough is Enough. And we have a guest in the house who is Reverend Okechukwu Obioha JP. He is the National Coordinator of the Southeast for Presidency 2023. So my next question is this. With the whole agitation of Brafa, do you believe that the northern regions will accept that you guys could be able to produce a candidate that they think could move everybody along without division?
Why would they not accept it? Because this is not just a precedent that is happening now with agitation. In the 50s, the Northerners agitated and they wanted a different country. This is the fourth time that you might have a group that is saying we want to get out from Nigeria. In the 67 and all that, 66, Adakaburu also did the same thing. And in the 67, something happened. And when they talk about by Ojukwu, by circumstance that happened at that time. So, and then you're talking about the present. Even in the present, sir, the Southeasterner or the elements of the Southeasterner are not the only people agitating for a separatist state from Nigeria. And that does not mean that all the members, all the citizens of the Southeast or the Igbo are subscribed to this. The people who are agitating now just about 5% asking for Biafra, you talk about IPOB. But I want to tell you and call you back that this is not a precedent, that in the present circumstance, by the annulment of 12 June, there was Radio Kudrat, banned by Professor Wesenka, a renowned professor, an international Nobel Prize winner. There was this Radio Kudrat. There was this agitation that if you don't bring back or do something about the annulment of 12 June, then there was going to be, Oduduwa Republic. It didn't just start today by Sunday Igboho. It has started. And through that, there was this OPC. That even when a policeman was going to the street or going to work, he will put off his police uniform and wear for fear of being killed or whatever, or manhandled or molested. He put in a mufti and then he gets to the office, he wears a uniform. It was so tense and volcanically charged in the southwest that was why also they had to concede that and made Olufalaye the candidate of ADAPP, which has never happened in the history, because before a political party or two political parties will now have a candidate, must go to a convention and ratify and say we are merging or we are coaliting. But then it wasn't happened that. A president was broken down. Olufalaye became the ADAPP something just to assuage them. And the PDP that the women started with Bridget Ghana and all that and risked his life against Abacha. Tyranny ruling and all that. Instead of equipment, and Solomon Law was from the north was made the national chairman. Instead of equipment enjoying the benefit of all his suffering and the risk taken by G18, G34, it was considered to our father Obasanjo to be the president from the south to assuage them. Now again, when Abacha was talking about the 5 million man march of trying to transmit himself, people who will go to Abuja in solidarity to Abacha, when he was trying to transmit himself as a pseudo-military president. And all the political parties, what we have in the political arrangement in the country today in history, the 5 leprosy hands, all the political parties, including GDF, went to their convention and said it was Abacha. When it was that, and these guys he was trying to transmute himself, and the guy from Niger Delta came to Abuja on a 2 million or 5 million march organized by one Nnamdi Kanu of something hotel, Agora Hotel, not this Nnamdi Kanu. And when they called to Abuja, they saw my Tama, they saw Sokoro, they said, come on, we were having 25% derivation. before the war by 1963 constitution, and now we are struggling and asking for, and they are talking about 13% and so on. But look at our oil, our aqua life we destroy, we're environmentally degraded and all that. They got angry, volcanic, and got charged, and the military started because all our money that is gotten from our backyard, and we're useless in terms of environment. We're not eating well, we're not giving much, no development in Niger Delta, and they are built all this overseas, like a Western country in Abuja. They went back and military started in order to assuage them. The blowing of oil pipelines and so on. They gave good Lord Jonathan. And now, in the last 8 years or 13 years, or thereabout, Boko Haram has started talking about Islamic State, hosting their flags everywhere, and up till now will not be able to solve the problem. It has defied every solution, including military or security or whatever, about the Boko Haram. And yet, our father, our brother, our able leader, President Buhari, have been there for 8 years in the north. So what are you talking about here? And if I remember to tell you, sir, our president has confirmed that whatever the agitation here is a dot. It's just a dot. Let's assume that it's a dot, which is so insignificant, very infinitesimal of agitation compared to all the agitations, the banditry and so on. Why would you give it as an excuse not to give them the presidency? That is not fair. They will have it. They are going to have it. If Nigerians want, like I told you, everything has been done. If they don't want us to have, I'm not going to, they will tell the Southeastern Adibo whether they are not part of this country or not by 2023. 15 months from now. I'm just telling you. Thank you, sir.
Right, sir. Yeah, with all this this analysis you've given, sir, do you think because the Northerners are agitating that they have 4 more years left, do you think the Northerners are ready to go into negotiation with the Southeast elders? Because the Northerner Elders Forum are deciding now. They are saying they still have one more tenure, which is 4 years to rule Nigeria. Do you think they are willing? Do you think they are ready to go into negotiation with the Southeast elders?
It's not a matter of whether they are ready or they will understand or whatever. Their calculation is wrong. How can you be talking about that? In fact, the bane of the problem of the Northern.
I'm sorry, sir. The reason why I said that is because the Northerners has the larger population, and according to democracy is all about number. So I'm trying to see if there will be a room for negotiation, whereby there will be a room for negotiation and understanding to understand that, like, no, this thing has to go around. So that's why I'm saying, do you think they're going to accept negotiation?
We would have been taking it one by one, but thank God, I'm rushing. So the point is that number one thing, sir, it is folly for anybody to think that the North is heavily populated against the South or even the Southeast. We've never had census in this country. We've never had correct census in this country. And why do you think that census in the country is not done by ethnicity or by religion? Every demography in the world, everywhere, in the Western world, everywhere, done correctly. You go by religion, you go by ethnicity, so that you'll be able to know how to calculate the statistics of your country, how to work well. So who is even telling you? And again, let me remind you, sir, it will be folly for anybody to still think of the North as an entity. The North is not. In fact, by the ravaging of the Boko Haram and the banditry and the Fulani herdsmen menace in the North Central, there is a middle belt that is excised now, not by map, not by calling a country, from the North. The North, anybody that is thinking that it will be foolhardy to think that the North is the 19 states of the North. They are not. Put a vote today, put a referendum today, sir. You will find out that the Taraba man is angry that the Fulani had come and somewhat like conquered their great-grandfathers and whatever, and intimidated them. They want even to get out. The Adamawa man, the Benue man, talk about Otom and other people. So this is not enough. Having said that, sir, well, no particular zone in the country can afford to produce a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You must coalesce. You must collaborate. You must lobby. You have to get the other zones to be part of what you're doing. And if you go further to say it's injurious, very insulting for the Northerner or any Northerner to think or say that they have 4 more years. 4 more years for what? The 35 years we had the military interregnum is all governed by the North. The balkanization that led to local government balkanization and all that because of landmass is done by the military of the North to the advantage of the North. And from that balkanization of the local government, that's how you have representation about the House of Reps and National Assembly and so on. That's why they are lumped over and they are seeming to be more there. So this country has never really gotten something correct. So I agree, we have to lobby. But for them to come up to it, that's insulting the stability of every Nigerian to say that you have 4 more years. The other years you have, the North is more impoverished than even the South or the Southeast. But with all the powers you have, with all the allocations to the federal government, you have to travel miles away, hundreds of miles before you have individual. Why do you think the Fulani herdsmen or the bandits can successfully operate in the North? It's because after every several hundreds of kilometers or something, you see some hamlets, some individual living. But the South is densely populated. It's not easy. Even these things they keep on talking about Fulani. I'm not afraid myself. Maybe trying to take over or what. It is impossible. It's my English. Impossible and cannot put together. You can't come and control or intimidate or take over the South. They are densely populated. From every kilometer you have communities. So you can't come in here and wade in and begin to, how do you do it? How do you solve it? No matter how sophisticated you are. Yes, you can say the terrorists and the bandits are technically whatever, or scientifically or sophisticated, but it's not easy. Why do you think that you had, with all the foreign powers and everything and so on and so forth in the country, with all the support that the federal had, 31 states faced 5 states, within 30 months, for a whole period of 30 months, without having all the arms and ammunition, and they are still surviving today. My brother, look, it's not easy. We are going to have it. The Southeasterner will be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria because the Middle Belt is working in tandem with the PANDF, the South-South coalition group, working with Ohaneze and working with Afanifere, the political arm, the socio-political arm in the West. And that is it. So let's keep on going. But we need them. Everybody needs each other. But don't come to coerce again or intimidate. We're not in that era again. Eyes have opened. A number of things are happening and all that. It is not possible. So we're going to have it. And for Nigeria to be good, to get back to the international scene, international whatever, they should allow a Southeaster to come and help. And more or less, let me say, before I round up, it is of spiritual and physical significance that the Southeast is here in Nigeria. They are like the balm of Gilead. The sun rises from the east and sets forth to the west. The wise men in the Christian religion came from the east with powerful and precious gifts to the child born in Jerusalem or in Bethlehem. The Muslim prays and he faces the east. The God, when he created the world, according to history of the world, whether Muslim or whatever, wanted a place where you can co-inhabit and have fellowship, a place that permeates with peace and tranquility. He came and carved a place in the east of the earth, a checkered earth that was without form, where he can have fellowship. So it is not by accident that the east is part of Nigeria. They should give them recognition and make them come in, so that also they will know that the 50 years war, civil war, when they said no vanquish, no winner, has been accomplished. Give them a sense of belonging. And Nigeria will be well for it. The Southeast man, the Southeasterner, the Igbo man is very accommodative, very amiable, very friendly, very accommodative. He's Nigeria. Because there's no village, any village in Nigeria, any cranny, Edo State, anywhere, everywhere, North, Meduguri, you don't have an Igbo man. There's no life there.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Before we round up for the program for today, I want you to tell me, how do you think the unity of the Southeast currently now? How will you describe the unity of the Southeast currently now? I want you to tell us that before we round up for today's program.
The Southeastern is the most united person. That's why we're having a program on the 27th. We'll keep having it every quarter. We call it this one is second presidential handshake. We had the first presidential handshake on 27th of April. We're going to have another one on Tuesday by 11 o'clock at Toscana Hotel. Every eye, every attention, everybody is coming for that program from the 6 zones of the country who say it is the right and turn of the Southeast to be the president of Nigeria. It is there for a discourse and a lot of things that people are coming. So what I'm trying to tell you, sir, is that there's no way, the East is more united. It's only in the East that somebody can bring up a child or whatever and train him, or somebody train him after many years, it will settle him. and so on. Look at the story of Obi Kabana. Sorry, I'm bringing in. He told you that he came to Oba and picked up 150 Obas and made them millionaires. They are billionaires. And he never came again, 300 persons, and picked them up and made them billionaires. These are the people that came in to do whatever they did, apart from what people think of minus or credit that happened at Oba about a week ago. It was the people, the spirit of trying to raise up people, people, a leader trying to make sure that the followers also are sustained. So the unity, the South, and the topic of our message is the Igbo are united. We are the most united tribe in the country. That's why we can. That's why we're operating. That's why we're succeeding everywhere, anywhere in the country, outside the country. The Igbo are more united. There are more crisis-prone individuals in other zones and in other tribes than the Igbo. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for coming into the program this morning. This is EIE Enough is Enough. And the person we had today was Reverend Okechukwu Obioha, JP. He is the National Coordinator of the Southeast for Presidency 2023. Thank you so much, sir, for coming into the program. And like you said you guys are having the second presidential aspirant handshake for the Southeast zone. That the Igbos are united. Nigerians, you've heard from the coordinator that the Igbos are prepared, they are united, and they are willing
ready to take the lead in Nigeria and to change the tide.
Thank you so much. And they are ready to produce a candidate that is ready to transform Nigeria, because what
very credible
is transformation, and we need a transparent person to move Nigeria forward. So the Southeast are ready for the 2023 upcoming election. And by the grace of God, we are asking Nigerians, please don't allow your conscience to be stolen by either tribe or ethnic or political party. Please come there and be fair and equity and justice
and fairness
for Nigeria. And we hope everything works out. And we thank you, sir, for coming into the program.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity, sir. Thank you.
And I hope to have you more time, sir, so that we could.
We are very much ready. We're ever ready to be in your program, sir. Anytime, any day.
Thank you so much, sir. It's good having you. Have a wonderful day, sir.
Yes, have a wonderful day too. God bless.
Bye. Fellow Nigerians, I was speaking with the coordinator of the Southeast Nigerian zone. They are preparing. We were hearing that the Southeast are not prepared. To my understanding, with the current situation going on in Nigeria, the North are saying the Southeast are not prepared because of the agitation of the Biafras. I want to say this categorically. If the Northerners are saying this, come on, what would they say to Boko Haram, bandits, and the herdsmen? Are they those people not from their region? What have they done to tackle the security issue? So question of the Northern elders stating that the Southeast are not prepared because of the agitation of Biafra. I think that is not a valid argument for them to put on ground to deny the Southeast. If we're talking about marginalization, for them to marginalize the Southeast from not taking part in the presidency of the 2023 upcoming president election. So thank you so much, viewers, for watching, and I hope you stay tuned. Please, if you have anything you want to say, you could drop it on the comment section, and I'll see you in our next meeting with one of our guests. Stay tuned, and we'll get back to you shortly. Bye for now.